Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be installing and configuring OpenVAS or OpenVAS on Kali Linux. Alright, so OpenVAS is a vulnerability scanning tool or a vulnerability analysis tool that comes pre-installed with Kali Linux. However, if it's not installed on your version, it's really very simple to get it installed. Essentially how you'd look for it is you would go to the application menu in Kali Linux and you go to vulnerability analysis. Sorry, let me just go back there. Vulnerability analysis, and you would find it in here, OpenVAS. Alright, if it isn't installed, what you want to do is you need to update your repositories. So that can be done on apt-get update. Alright, so you want to make sure you're in root before you do this and just update your repositories. Furthermore, then you need to upgrade your repositories. So upgrade, apt-get upgrade, and once that's done, you can get started with the OpenVAS installation. So to get started with that, all you need to do is just go to this web page that I'll have in the resources. So it's www.kali.org/penetration testing /OpenVAS vulnerability scanning. All right. So as you can see, you can go through this paragraph here where it's essentially telling you about OpenVAS. So for this reason, we have manually packaged the latest and newly released OpenVAS 8.0 tool and libraries for Kali Linux. Although nothing major has changed in the release in terms of running the vulnerability scanner, we wanted to give a quick overview on how to get it up and running. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is you need to update your repositories, and the second thing you need to do is you need to upgrade your packages. Alright, once that's done, you need to install OpenVAS, and that can be done with the apt-get install. Alright, and you just want to hit enter. Now I already have mine installed, so if I just hit enter, it's just going to overwrite over the currently installed one, as you can see. So I already have it installed. Now the next step is the most crucial, and that is to essentially set up OpenVAS. Alright, so you just need to copy this command, or you can type it in. So it's OpenVAS. Sorry, let me just minimize that. There we are. OpenVAS and setup. Alright, so once you hit enter, it's essentially going to start the setup process for OpenVAS. And it's going to take quite a while because it needs to install, download and install all the required files and all the CVE databases that are required. Alright, so give that a few minutes so you can go ahead and get yourself a cup of coffee or tea, and it should be done when you're back. Alright, and once it's done, it's going to give you your login credentials into which you can actually log in to OpenVAS through the local host on your web browser. Alright, it should give you the username as admin and the password as a long string, as we've already looked at, as a long string of text that is a password. Alright, now the main advantage that we need to look at here of using OpenVAS is the fact that after you've performed the setup, you can now look at the settings here. So once you've set up OpenVAS, you should be able to look with the netstat tool to check out what services are running or what services are listening, and it should give you the port in which the local host is currently running. Alright, so to start the OpenVAS service, you just use the OpenVAS and start command. Alright, so let's do that right now. OpenVAS and start. Alright, and it should just take a few seconds to start the OpenVAS services. There we are. Now to look at the other options we can use with the OpenVAS, we can just use OpenVAS, and if I use the tab button, it should give me the options that I can use with OpenVAS. Alright, so I can look for updates, I can start and stop the service, and I can go through the setup. Alright, now looking at the OpenVAS settings here, after it's given you your password, you have to access the local host through the transfer protocol, the secure transfer protocol, HTTPS, and the local host is 127.0.0.1. The port is 9392, so it's obviously different than NESIS. Alright, and then you'll be asked to enter your username and your password that was provided to you. Alright, so I'm going to do that right now. So I'm just going to access it here. So 127.0.0.1, and I use the port 9392, and if I hit enter, it's going to give me an error here. So again, we have to use the transfer protocol here, HTTPS, and I'm going to hit enter. And if it asks you for a security exception, just the same way as it did with NESIS, just add it as an exception and you should be good to go. Alright, so the default username should be admin, and after performing the setup, it should have given you a password which you can later change after you've logged in. Alright, so essentially I've already changed my password, so it's much shorter. So if I just hit enter, it's going to log me in, and there we are. So as you can see, this is OpenVAS, and we'll be going through all of this in the next video when we'll be looking for vulnerabilities in Linux and Windows. So that's going to be it for this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.